welcome to this episode of Sälengjord Frida och Visby. Today we will begin to do a time travel back in time a couple of days and see what we did in between the bad weather at the top of Foya and the sunny day a couple of days later. Do a trip to Tavira, a really nice and sunny town. And on New Year's Day we finally get time and the weather is perfect to do the dinghy repair before Bertil leaves and we had to go back to Sweden. We bring you with us to the cold north by coming back to the boat. Welcome to Sailing Frida och Visby. We are a middle-aged couple that has left our hectic working life for a life where plans are written in the sand. We have sailed from the chilly Sweden in the Nordic countries along the Atlantic coast of Europe to the Mediterranean Sea. We sailed to enjoy the pleasure of the sea, see amazing places, eat good and meet new people. Sometimes we do maintenance and projects and we want to share our sailing life with you. This is Frida och Visby, our Key 47 Pilot Saloon.
My name is Anders.
I am Gita and this is Litsa, the truly free spirit on board. Forte da Ponta da Bandeira. Now we are at the fort. This is a historic site from the beginning of the age of the discoveries. It was from here Vasco da Gama and the other Portuguese explorers started their expeditions. Yeah, today there is a small beach and the dinghy club and the kayak rental have their places here. It's not so much to see, but okay. Now we've been here. Almost since I bought my new kayak, Bertil wanted to try it, so now it's time. Ja, vad tyckte du om att paddla?
Jag var inne i fiskhamnen.
Du var inne i fiskhamnen, vad roligt.
Ja, jag gick inte ut i
kanalen. Nej. Hur sjutton lyckades du svånga den här?
Ja, den hang ju ner där.
Ja, men då får du se om du kommer ur då.
Då tänkte jag på det. Då håller jag i alla fall att näsan inte
precis.
går så jäkligt mycket utåt. Så vet jag inte om jag gjorde den här för tight.
Nej, där får du, det är bara man måste kunna få ner fötterna. Ja, kanske aningen tight. Den orangea kan nog vara lite lösare.
Då tar vi det så.
Ja. By the way, don't forget to leave comments. We love to read what you think. Now we are almost back in time where we left in the last episode. So we go up to the top of Foya and then continue to Tavira. Today Anders has the big camera because we are going up to the mountains for the second time, because the first time it was cloudy, rainy, windy and we couldn't see a thing. We are back. After our second visit at the top of Foya, we drove along the beautiful mountain roads to the city Tavira. Tavira is one of the sunniest cities in Europe and the downtown center is waterfront to the river Gilao. Det var ju lite mysigt ju. Just outside the town is a big natural park that go all the way to Faro, and there are several good anchorage behind the Tavira Island, but be aware of depth and the tide. But this area is of huge importance for biodiversity and especially birds. We have still not yet decided if we will go there with Frida och Visby. Va?
Man kan nog gå och plocka snäckorna direkt.
Musslor?
Ja, det var ju ett läge på.
Ja.
Där har du korkförsäljning. Kork,
Ja, just det.
allt är klart.
Anders is going to get pizza, and Bachelor and I, we will have a paella. Bachelor and I have got our paella.
Ja, men det tror jag.
The first known settlements of Tamira are from the Bronze Age. It was under Moorish control for a quite long time, which can still be seen in parts of the old town. Despite the big 1755 earthquake and following tsunami that destroyed many of the buildings on the Algarve coast. This is the ancient Roman bridge, one of the main attractions in Tavira. It's not clear if it's actually the ancient bridge built by the Romans or if it's a new bridge built later on the same spot by the Moorish. After a long day, we took the highway back home to Lagos. Time flies when you're having fun, so it's already New Year.
Happy New Year, everyone! So yeah, New Year's Eve, and we are having breakfast in the cockpit. Fiskar överallt.
Det går nog bra det här. Nu börjar det puffa här.
We are waiting for
Men det låter
New
som det är
Year
den vägen.
celebration.
Ja, men det kommer nog här bort.
I didn't feel like cooking lunch on New Year's Day, so we go out and try the national dish chicken piri piri.
Okay, Bertil, how is chicken piri piri?
I have not tried yet.
Okay,
We must see.
let's see. I also have a Portuguese chicken piri piri, and Anders took a spaghetti bolognese. And we have got
Aren't we in Italy?
we have got some extra piri piri. Spicy? Not too
It's
bad.
good. Nej, it's not bad.
Not
Okay.
too bad yet.
Okay, then I can try it.
Later in the afternoon, in the lovely weather, we decided to fix the dinghy.
Ska jag dra upp den lite här?
Mm. Så. Det var det. Då får...
Han ska så han kan beskydda det här kapelltyget här när han limmar på listen. Gör han så här.
Och där skulle man ju kunna ta en av mina klädnypor och sätta i ratten.
Ja, här.
Ja.
Det räcker.
Bra att ha riktigt tryck i.
We are going to try to make a dinghy repair. It's not vital because it's not leaking, but those
This is not what you want.
no.
You don't want to be able to do this.
Yeah.
So
So
that's what we're trying
so
to
we're going to try to glue it back. Today's boat fix. Even on New Year's Day, we managed to squeeze a little boat work in.
weather told us it was quite
Yeah, the weather.
the
Dictate-
weather decides a lot in the boat.
Yeah. So the weather decided that it was dinghy fixing day today. It's soon time for Bertil to go home, but we squeeze in a little more excursions. This time we went to Benagil Cave. We are at Benagil Beach and we are going to walk up and see if we can see the cave from above. You can see the boat tours are working. Here it is, the Benagil Cave, the biggest cave on the coast. Walk around and see if I can get a better shot at it. You are not allowed to go closer to the edge than the fence due to the risk of collapse and of course falling in. The Algarve Basin between Cabo de São Vicente and Faro was part of a region caught in the epicenter of a supercontinent of Pangaea began to split up and warm. Shallow seas slowly crept in. Over time, limestone was built up with layers that make up the Benagil Sea Cave. It was over 20 million years ago. And after that, the waves from the sea have slowly eaten away the limestone and formed those beautiful caves. Sure is an impressive sight and I can imagine it's wonderful from inside, but we decided not to take the boat tour today. Because Anders' diabetes required some food. I found those beautiful flowers at the restaurant. But on our way back we took a little detour around Bensafem to look at the dam and the solar power station that are up there. If you start from the dam, you have a beautiful walking and hiking area.
See how much more water I can filter before
Green energy production. Solar mass production, I would call it. It's called Bertil has gone home and we prepare to leave the boat for a couple of weeks while we go back to Sweden. That means emptying the freezer and a lot of other things. Preparing for going back to Sweden for a couple of weeks. And this is disconnecting the water because we are leaving, going back to Sweden for a little while. When we touched down in Sweden, it was dark and snow on the ground. But when we came home, our neighbors has already started a fire in the fireplace. Nice way to get welcomed home. We felt that we had hardly landed at home before we had to go to the mainland for a round trip to see and visit my daughter and see her boyfriend Morgan. Then we went to her in Skåne to have a coffee at my son's place. Before we continued to my mom to get something to eat while my dad's summer house got a little warmer before we were going to sleep. The next day we made a quick stop at the boat shop in Roll before it was time to go back home. Whew. After that rush we felt we deserved a cozy dinner at the fireplace before we went to Anders' parents to see them. Finished our bookkeeping, it took a lot of coffee. But we also managed to squeeze in a little time with our friends. But we soon got tired of a landscape that looks like this, so we were longing back to our cozy boat on the sunny Algarve. And this is packing for our trip back to the boat. And as usual, we have a lot more stuff that we want to bring to the boat than from the boat.
Inför start och landning ska tyngre föremål som väger mer än 1 kilo exempelvis en laptop.
Yes, we are finally back in Lagos on the boat. Tired but very happy.
Stay tuned to hear what's coming in the next episode.
Hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did and want to see more of our journey and our different projects that we do on the boat, then please subscribe, hit the like button, and don't forget to hit the bell button as well. In the next episode, it will be a little bit of excursion, but then we will start the project mode, and we will probably do projects for a couple of episodes because we are building a solar arch and mounting a lot of solar power.
Thank you so much for watching Sail i Frida och Visby.